I'm here to share with you about this course you're going to be taking for professional development. Again, my name is Jen Miller. I'll be teaching the course. I'm also the Director of Professional Development and Graduate Outreach here at Lake Erie College, just in case you've seen my name elsewhere. But I'm teaching this course mainly because I'm working on my doctorate in ed tech through Walden University, so I'm finishing up my dissertation now. So this area is definitely something I'm very passionate about. I'm very excited to teach courses with this. So for this course, and this course is near and dear to my heart, I worked in K-12 public education for years as a teacher mostly, but I was a library media specialist for the past 6 before moving here to Lake Erie College. So this course is about a topic that's very important to me as the library world, but I think critical for all of our students nowadays is digital literacy and preparing students with 21st century skills. I've actually written a lot on this topic because our students are digital natives. They've grown up, they know how to use technology. They've only grown up in a time of technology, but it doesn't mean they're digitally literate, and it doesn't mean they know how to use it appropriately, safely, or effectively. So we're going to dig into that topic in this course. This course is 1 credit hour, so it's about 15 hours of work. So this is just a quick, I would say, intro, let you dig in and let you see some of the resources that I'm hopeful you can use later. This is your syllabi that I'm sharing with you now. Your course will be housed in Canvas. Even if you log into Leo to our Lake Erie Online, our LMS for Lake Erie College, when you log in, you'll see an announcement right away starting on Sunday that gives you the enroll code. I will also email it to you, but you'll be able to take our class on Canvas. It's just more user friendly for me for PD, so it's what I choose to use instead of trying to make you learn a whole LMS, because with Canvas you log in, everything's right there. So if you have any issues with logging into the course or any issues with the course at all, I highly encourage you to reach out. This is an asynchronous course. You're working at your own pace, but if you have questions, you need help, you need resources, that's what I'm here for. This is my favorite thing in the world to talk about. So I will jump on with you with a call. I will, get on Zoom with you. I will email with you. I use WhatsApp a lot and have a community area for students to chat and ask questions. You can ask in Canvas. So just reach out. My contact information is there, but you can also just go onto the Class Cafe chat in Canvas and ask me anything you need. And so it's really important to me that you know that you have support, even though it's asynchronous learning. What we know is that people love the asynchronous aspect now after COVID, but also as an ed tech expert, I'll tell you that it's critical that in courses that people feel that they can still be connected and that you have the resources to help you as you need. I want you to finish this course and get what you want out of it. So final due date for all assignments is August 4th. Since it's asynchronous, you work as you go. You could turn everything in August 4th. That's fine. That's totally up to you. Learning outcomes are going to be listed here, just so you know what I'm expecting you to learn by the time you're done. The course outline is going to have your modules. We actually have 3 modules. And oh, sorry, that one says week 3, and it's actually a module. You're not working in weeks, so don't get confused by that at all. So module 1, and for each module, I've got big ideas and topics, learning outcomes, and then the assignments that you're doing that aligns with that. So this is just going to be a brief intro to digital literacy. I'm going to have a reading. I think there's a video. You're just going to write a 3-paragraph response with your own definition of digital literacy and an explanation of why you think they need to be digitally literate. There's lots of opinions out there. The resources I gave you, I could have gone on for days. But again, 1 credit course, 15 hours. So I tried to limit it. Feel free to look at any resources you want. I'm highly interested in the topic, so I read a lot on it. Module 2 is going to be digital literacy and 21st century skills. So we're actually going to focus on, it's called Battelle for Kids. It's actually a framework that I've dug into a little bit in my dissertation study that is for K-12 students, the 21st century skills they need to work in the workforce. And those skills are ones that I think you'll absolutely agree that students need, but that's what we're going to dig into and look at. What are those skills and how they pertain to the area you teach. And so that one too, if you need help as you get into that and dig out and you want to know okay, what are the exact, can you just tell me which ones I'm looking for, which one I should focus on? I'm happy to help talk through that with you. In module 3, we're going to talk about integrating digital literacy concepts then into your subject matter specific lessons. I think everybody should be teaching digital literacy. I don't care if you teach science, if you teach math, if you teach reading, it doesn't matter, because everybody is going to have students experience something with their content online or in some digital format. And students need to understand how to discern fake news or incorrect information, or how to search, or how to do those pieces for almost every content. So that's how I feel. I'm passionate about it. So I want you to apply those digital literacy concepts into the subject matter that you teach. And I'm going to give you resources if there's a ton of lessons on digital literacy. I don't think you should take those lessons and just like, okay, I'm going to teach this lesson in science today. Not necessarily, but the concept that's in this lesson of these resources I've shared with you, how can I apply the concept of digital footprint maybe into my science class? Okay, so you're going to pick a concept and then you're going to tell me how it applies to the lesson. You don't have to create a new lesson. You're going to think about that lesson plan you already have and how you're incorporating a 21st century skill and a digital literacy element. So it could be something you already teach. You're going to incorporate that into your area yourself. Okay, so we can talk about that. All the directions will be in Canvas, but we can talk about that when you get to it if you have questions. You do have, I think there's only one discussion. So you will post a discussion post here at the end, and I'll reply to you. You don't have to reply to each other. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. You're just going to post it there. It's kind of a little more laid back as far as than writing. If you wanted to post a video of your response, that's fine. It doesn't have to necessarily be written for that discussion. And here's how I grade the discussion post, just to be fair to everybody, so they know. I'm not telling you how to think. I'm just looking that you were thinking, essentially, and that you really want to stimulate that further thought or discussion, or what you're thinking. Professional, obviously, but I'm not looking necessarily for it to be this long essay. I want it to be an actual response. Here's a grading for the course. So the course component, how many points? Total of 100 points, obviously then 100%. If you're pass fail, D to A is going to be your range for that passing. Fail is going to be your failing. I know sometimes people think a D can be failing too. In this case, like if you can get, 60%, I'm going to count it as a pass fail. Some of you have letter grades, so it just depends on what you picked. Of course, reach out to me if you need to change that, because I'm also the director. And so this will be how I grade you, and the expected, assignments, your final project, all of those pieces. You can see final project is worth the most. And then finally down here, and all of this again will be housed in Canvas, will be your instructional materials. So you have the instructional materials for the introduction. For Module 2, you'll have these digital literacy resources. And I just want to point out a few things as we get into talking about these. Google's Be Internet Awesome and Common Sense Education are my two favorite. Google's Be Internet Awesome, though, they're two different pieces. So Google's Be Internet Awesome, the students are actually playing games. There are some lessons, but they're actually playing games that teach them about these concepts. Students love it, at least in my experience at middle school. And then Common Sense Education really has a lot of excellent lessons. So those are two of my favorite. They're free. So I think that is really important to point out that they're free. This digital literacy toolkit, it's a library guide. It's one I've used many times. It has a lot of good resources, also free. Media Smarts curriculum, it's a Canadian curriculum, but has a lot of great lessons. I believe most all of those are free. But I do want to point out the CyberWise curriculum. Great curriculum. There are a few free lessons, but it is a paid for curriculum. I have paid for the curriculum and used it, but I do not want you to do that. I want you to take something that already exists and think about, okay, here's what they're teaching for this concept. Now, how do I apply this into my content area? Or how does this matter to me? Now, if you happen to be a computer teacher or your job is to teach digital literacy, by all means, dig into other things, but I still don't want you to spend money because there's so many free resources. ISTE actually has a new Get Digital Skills site, and they have recommendations and resources. I included the PDF for those digital skills. For 21st century skills, I included the Battelle for Kids P21 framework, and then kind of what are 21st century skills? What is she talking about? And then the actual framework from Battelle for Kids. This is their site that'll take you there, and it has a lot of great resources, but just so you can pick for that final project which skill you want to focus on. I'll be honest, I think probably the primary skill that most people focus on is communication, that because it just applies everywhere. Every job, you've got to be able to communicate. So it's a good one, but you can choose whichever one you like. And if you need help when you get to that stage, just reach out. So there are no resources for Module 3, because you'll see Module 3, if we go back up to Module 3, it's just you doing that final kind of discussion and incorporating it in what you've already learned. There's nothing to read or do. You will have obviously a template kind of that shows you what I expect for the lesson plan, but keep in mind, This is your course. I want you to learn from it. The templates I give you are just templates. You can write it or do it however you would like. I trust you as a professional to do so. So, again, reach out if you have any questions. I'm excited to have you in this course. I think it's going to be great, but make sure you ask for help as you need it, or you let me know what you're thinking or needing. Enjoy.